Well, howdy ho, neighborinos. Welcome to another day of fantastic PUBG Mobile action. My name is ImPERium. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to the stream. First of all, that music is pretty lit. It gets me pumped up just a little bit more. Plus, it's copyright free, so I cannot complain about that. And we have four, of course, four as usual. Fantastic set of games coming your way here in the HATExLakonostra event. There is €50 on the line provided by Lakonostra for the winning team, just to add a little bit of spicy incentive for all of these fantastic teams that are participating. You might be wondering, well, what teams are participating? And outside the fact that it is scrolling across from left to right at the bottom of your screens, well, I might as well just introduce them because they all deserve it. We have Hate Gaming, Lakonostra Power, Natus Vincere, or NAVI for short, SWAT69, the PMGC finalists, Zeus Esports. We have Alliance, we have New Era, World of Wonders, NAIX, Conqueror, Terror Esports, ScrimFarm, Divine, Panda, GSG Europe, Zombies Esports, Unicorns of Love, and last but not least, 4 Romanian Men. So, of course, a mixed bag of some absolutely amazingly fantastic international teams, and of course, some up-and-coming high risers within the European scene that have tasted a level of glory, but in the 2021 season will want to reach higher and higher. There's a lot on the line this year. There's a lot of tournaments that's going to be coming up, and this is just the start of it. All begins now at these kind of events on these scrims. So how are you all doing out there? I hope you're having an absolutely fantastic day. I know there's a lot of support out there from the CIS community, so privyet to all of you out there. Hope that was well said. And of course, everybody else that's tuning in, yous are all amazing. Whether it's one person, whether it's 200 people, it doesn't matter to me. Yous are all absolutely kick-ass. Just like all of these teams, they all deserve your support. So I want to know in chat who you guys are supporting for. What teams are you going for? What kind of, you know, where is the love coming from, so to speak? Because it you know, at times it doesn't really matter whether you are competing in a scrim, whether you're competing in a tournament. Yeah, okay, tournaments will always kind of matter a little bit more, but when you are competing in a scrim, even getting that support from the community can be a big help down the line, right? When the teams know that the supporters have their back, it can really help pick up their spirits. At least that's what I genuinely believe. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. This first game should be starting relatively soon. The 4 games we do have in today's set of games is Erangel game 1, moving over to Miramar for game 2, then Sanhok for game 3, and then back over to Erangel for the final game of the day. Of course, no more Vikendi for now in the PUBG Mobile competitive scene. A little bit of a feels bad, man, I have to say. Personally, for me, Vikendi is my favorite map. It's to me the you know, it's just an absolutely great map. It does require adjustments to be a little bit more competitive, but especially compared to Sanhok, I've always found it more competitive than Sanhok. But I get the entertainment aspect, the fun aspect that Sanhok does bring to the table from a casual viewer base. So we are just waiting for this game to start fairly soon. It seems like pretty much all the players are in the lobby, bar one. It's going to be pretty stacked. One of the SWAT69 players we are waiting for. Yeah, man. Oh, man, I get the cast Zeus Esports once again. God damn it, I missed it. I only got to cast them a couple of times in the PMGC finals, and I'm looking forward to shouting their name once again. Icy, Godless, Ably, and Zio. Man, you all know them. They're like, they nearly won the PMGC finals, right? They nearly won the PMGC finals. Oh, let's go. Let's go. Man, I'm genuinely pumped and genuinely hyped to get into this first game. It's going to be a good one. I do apologize about the slight difference with the overlay today. Because I'm using my iPad, I need to get another overlay made just to kind of make it center. So it is going to be to the right, but the action should still be pretty damn fun, and I'll do my best. Because I was using the emulator, but as good as the emulator is, I feel like the iPad was rendering the game a lot smoother and quicker, which therefore I can show the action a lot better for you guys. So you know, that's what comes first. So I hope you don't mind the overlay change for now. It hopefully will get better. We're going to be getting into this game one fairly shortly. Let's turn the music off. Let's turn the game volume up. Let's get the map overview and see what kind of playing path we have underway for this game one. I am on my own for tonight's games, unfortunately, but you know what? I'll still do my best to make it entertaining, informative, and show as much action as I can. The playing path for this game one is relatively on the eastern side of the map, so it's going to favor most of the teams that like to go towards a Milta Power, even Military Island area for now. If you want to head over to the west, like Unicorns of Love do like to go to, you might have to drop a little bit earlier and grab a vehicle or two and make your way over there. If you do have a second drop spot, that is something I would advise. And this is what Unicorns of Love are pulling off. That kind of makes sense that they are going for an early drop spot onto Military Island that, in theory, is going to be safer than the mainland. Grab a vehicle and then move across on the western bridge over to Gaka. Quite clever coming out from Unicorns of Love. I do like that. Zombies Esports are going to be spreading themselves out around the Milta Power area. Terra Esports also doing something similar. Conqueror looking to drop fairly early, and they're actually going to go one of the players of New Era, UBL, is actually dropping down with them. Just waiting for this to render on through. We see Icy is taking down one of the players of Zeus early on off that. A little bit of a feels bad man. So hey, look, you know, Icy can say he killed one of the Zeus players, so that's pretty fun. We see wow, Zessie is gonna be taking down one of the Divine players, but he is Janada that's on his own against Ably and Godless. So 1v2, it's gonna be pretty tough for Janada. He looks to go on the top floor of the 3-story building. Gonna take those pre-fire shots off. Gets one of the Zeus players down to half health. Is now gonna jump out. Nicely played by Janada, wrapping around those walls, trying to play on the underside. Good play by Zeus, sticking together though. That does make sense. Godless and Ably, 2 to 3 players from Zeus left standing. He does unfortunately have a grenade, and he peeks at the wrong time and he gets knocked out by Godless, and that's going to be a confirmation even trade between these two teams. Moving on over to Rozhok, where Lakonostra Power and Hate Gaming are currently subsided, planted down. Both of these teams like to call Rozhok their home in competitive PUBG Mobile, so in these scrims there's always a chance it was going to be contested by both teams. Moving on over as well, I'm going to show Divine and World of Wonder, because I've seen that's been on the kill feed a little bit. World of Wonder overall coming out on top for the most part. I believe they've gotten 2 knockdowns onto the Divine players. Seems like both of them will get revived. Yeah, that's going to be the revive being flown on through. It's going to be tough for Divine. World of Wonder are a very strong team indeed. But oh my god, ScrimFarm are actually engaging in onto the side of Zeus, and they take him out. Sweet revenge for ScrimFarm as they recognize the battle that could be pursued, the fight that could be taken, and they've taken out your PMGC finalists. Good start from ScrimFarm as they look to test themselves. No better way in these scrims than to test yourself against the best. Azzy able to get a lovely knockdown onto Salah and actually a kill onto Salah's zombies. And I saw that one of the New Era players, I think, was knocked down as well. And it is New Era that has been eliminated. I think that is the case. Yep. New Era have been taken out early on in this game. One of the stronger teams from the CIS region taken out this game early on. So we've lost 2 teams right off the bat. Zeus Esports and New Era. Phase 1 circle is pretty central, all things considered. Because of that eastern playing path, there is more space on the western side of the map for now. So the rotation from Unicorn to Love, NAVI, and even Alliance in some way, shape, or form is going to be a lot easier. As well as for Romanian Men, what they could do is just shift up north to Pachinki Hill. That would give them a little bit of oversight. Or they could actually move on over to the church area of Pachinki. That would give them a decent bit of information for now. I'm going to pan over once again to the fight that could be breaking out in Rozhok between Hate Gaming and Lakonostra Power. I know Lakonostra Power is still somewhat trying to rebuild their team, but the fight is actually going to start off between Conqueror and SWAT 69. Marley being knocked down early on at the hands of a lovely grenade chucked out. Zard is going to get a knockdown on Deriz. Azzy is pretty much left on his own. Vito just get the supporting backline fire on to get a knockdown, but at the end of the day, Azzy is going to have to try and create some form of a distraction or even get a revive for this fight to still have a chance of going in their favor. I don't know if Vito can actually get to Reese. I don't think that's going to be the case. Lovely grenade being thrown out. SWAT 69 are a bit cautious on this area off the back of only starting as a 3-man team and one of them being knocked down. So it's only really 2 that they can utilize in this fight. Great sprays coming out from Crazy just to stop Vito from getting more forward. It's risky that Vito is moving so forward, but he is wrapping around so he can play around the tip, and he's going to find Crazy, puts him down to half health. Now Zerd is going to get knocked down onto Azzy. Vito's going to find a 9Q to confirm that kill, and Marley's going to look for those shots off onto Zerd while his teammate is knocked down to the ground. Vito's going to get confirmed as well, so pretty much Marley is the last player standing, and he does sacrifice his own player at the hands of trying to get a knockdown onto the member of Zeus, so really not looking too good for Conqueror in this fight. Playing down on the balcony of that building. Marley's going to cook up a grenade. Tries to prepare. That's a... I don't know if that was a misplay grenade or what, but either way, he's going to look to try and get this 1v2. Doesn't help that the red zone is also in the comfort of these two teams. Lovely angle being thrown out by Marley as he does chuck up a smoke just to try and give him a level of protection. Pre-fire shots off. Vito's yet to be confirmed up. He's going to see that player from SWAT 69 coming up the stairs. And now he's going to be on his own, throwing a death skate 12. Oh no. Oh no. He's on a sliver of health as he jumps down. He might look to go back into the building, but no. Crazy finds him. And that's the end of Conqueror as they beat out. As he got beaten out by SWAT 69. Also, World of Wonders just took out Divine as well. Another fight that broke out. And we see the Rozhok battle has started as Lakonostra Power are going to be the team to be victimized by Hate Gaming in this area. 2 of their players knocked down is going to be confirmed. Not confirmed, but a return by Alibaba from Lakonostra, but he's a little bit out in the open. He does confirm the kill on the Fox. Will he be able to get the revive onto Analysis? Is it Anas? Or I think it's Anas or Analyst. I forget how to say his name. It's been a while since I've seen him, but either way, 2 players of Hate Gaming are pushing in. It was a lovely smoke being thrown out, but maybe that revive was a little bit risky. Spray from Hate Gaming is going to get knocked down. A lovely spray by Alibaba with the AKM. And now it's going to be Beast left on his own. Beast is going to get that return. Much needed knockdown from Beast. But at the end of the day, PRZ along with Natus, who did get revived up, is going to get that counter knock on to Beast. And it is going to leave Mishi as the last player standing for Hate Gaming. He's going to cross the other side of the road. He's going to be the solo player. And considering Hate Gaming kicked things off in this fight against Lakonostra Power, has been Lakonostra Power that ends up coming out on top. PRZ seems to be a new player for the side of Lakonostra Power, setting themselves into the PMCO. Alliance now rotate down from Severity into the top of Roshawk. It's a good place to rotate, but interesting. It's not something they normally pull off. Maybe they heard the shots, and because it's somewhat scrims, it's something that they can try to recognize and take the fight onto the small sniper tower. Rooter goes to try and get a little bit of information. And this is gonna spot a Rooter. Nice spray with the AKM 4X. Nicely done. That's gonna help Lakonostra Power set themselves up for a defense. I don't think Headache should go for that revive. Don't go for the revive, my friend. I know you want to go for it, but it's not worth the risk. As Rooter is going to get confirmed up. Mishi, the last player standing from Hate Gaming, gets the backstab on the Lakonostra. And you got to realize that if you haven't gotten that squad out, my friends, there's always a chance that you can get third party. So maybe a little bit of a narrow-minded misplay from Lakonostra as they got a bit too distracted by Alliance. But now Headache is going to wrap around with that boogie. He's definitely going to be hurt, but you know what? He doesn't want to go in quiet. He wants to go in heavy, but going in on his own is definitely risky with that. Alibaba is fire up those shots to try and suppress Headache just a little bit. Grenade is going to get cooked up. Sunrise is going to find Alibaba, and now it's going to be pretty much the end as Alliance pushes in. Is going to take down Analysis, and that's a great engagement all the while for Alliance, despite them losing a player first at the hands of Lakonostra. Maybe Lakonostra should have looked to disengage away from that, but again, PRZ getting somewhat caught out by Mishi really didn't help them. Phase 2 pops up, and it does go up the northwest. So it's going to help Navi in their current position, which is on that beautiful compound opposite the river side that overlooks Ruins, Everest, and even the northern side of that river. They are going to go for a little bit of a 2-2 split, which I do think is pretty good. Is that Kitsune? Is a new player for Navi? Is that is interesting? Interesting indeed. Has Kitsune replaced Tixie? Is it a new player? We'll have to wait and see. Of course, it's interesting to see new players being played across different rosters and see what happens. For Romanian Men now gonna wrap around the Pachinki Hill, which is a pretty solid rotation coming out from them. Maybe they should have rotated there earlier on, so that was a little bit of a slow rotation. Panda are gonna make their way across as well. World of Wonders on the eastern side of that circle. Most of the teams are coming from the eastern side simply because of the playing path and that phase 2 shift up the northwest, and Navi may be realizing that, and it might be a bit risky having two players so deep into the center of this phase 2. Unique from ScrimFarm is going to rotate in a little bit of a similar pathline as GK the first of Panda. He did stop to try and possibly take some shots, but because Unique continued forward, him and Icy will be absolutely fine. Zombies now rotating in a little bit of a similar pathline. So many of these teams are rotating in a similar pathline. On one hand, I kind of get it, but on the other hand, it's a little bit frustrating because there should be a little bit of a dynamic strategy involved, and I do think that common sense would say that a lot of teams would go there, like SWAT 69 going for a pretty wise rotation more on the southern side of this phase 2. Even for Romanian Men, okay, the fact that they did it early is probably a little bit more clever, but then again, they were closer. Either way, yet to see a fight really break on through. Nice rotation for NAIX, Gaming to have 2 players in Watertown and 2 players in the compound opposite Watertown. I think that's a really valuable 2-2 split that's come out from them, because they're relatively close to each other should a team crash, and they're able to get information either side of where they are. So I really absolutely love that split that's come out from them. So the last player from Hate Game, Mishi, is just staying prone down, not prone down, but in the bathroom. And again, so I'm being told in chat that he'll play for Navi and Tixie too. They'll play 5 players, but what about Adder? Oh, so Kitsune. Oh man, I'm an idiot. Kitsune is Adder. Yeah. Okay. See, why do you go back to Kitsune? See, that's just confusing. That's just confusing, man. Like, talk about like 2019 vibes all over again. I'm old. My memory's a little bit bad. I apologize, guys. It's something I should know better. But again, memory can be a little bit bad at times. And also because so many players swap change and so many players kind of go this, that, and the other, it can be hard to keep up sometimes. But at least it's been confirmed. Thank you very much to you guys in chat. The members of the CIS community, always on the front line of things within the CIS side of PUBG Mobile. These are a bunch of legends. Thank you so much for that information. Now we are going to see Headshot Hills going to be a little bit of a fight between Panda and Terror Esports. Malloy comes in to get a third-party knock from Watertown onto one of the Terror players. And this is what I like about the whole 2-2 split that NAIX Congenials have pulled up, because they're able to get information on players and teams in Headshot Hills. And, of course, as you saw, get a cheeky knockdown if they can. Nashi being in the back line, but at the end of the day, Jaja and Slyke. Is it Slick or is it Slyke? Interesting. I'm gonna call it Slick because that's a little bit easier. Jaja and Slick are kind of at the forefront. They gotta realize that they can't push in on Panda. They're actually better off disengaging in my eyes and repositioning to Nashi, because I don't think there's any real benefit than being where they are. They have the man disadvantage. They know they're getting third party potentially from this angle, so why not just move away? Panda knows where you are, NAIX knows where you are, and Phase 3 does shift up north, but it does go away from the west. It still makes that compound that Navi hold on to quite viable indeed. And I'm aware that old boss is old boy. I'm definitely aware of that. I know I'm stupid, but I'm not that stupid. But I do appreciate the confirmation. Will that leave NAIX Congenials in a position where they will hold on to that 2-2 split, or will they join up as a full squad? I know World of Wonders has been able to get a knockdown onto one of their players on the back of that reposition, and then actually it is a little bit of a fight in this area, so that's where it's going to work out for NAIX Congenials by joining up somewhat as a full squad in that area. And Malloy is pretty much left on his own because Jackie was knocked down. That's going to leave Hemiski and Sun HP to deal with it. But now Peter's Vitter is going to make his way in. So it's a clean 2-2 split, but at the end of the day, Hemiski comes in, opens the doorway, and is going to get that knocked down. As Peter's Vitter left on his own, and he's going to go down. Vitamin, where are you, my friend? Where are you, Vitamin? You're going to go for the revive. I didn't realize there was another player from NAIX Congenials in the play, in the mix, in the fold, because he wasn't really making any noise. And oh my god, I don't think even Hemiski realized there was another player from NAIX Congenials in the air, ready to strike, and indeed, he went for the punch, and he got punched in return, punched by the bullets, so now Sun HP is left on his own. He is going to go for that revive on the Hemiski, so it is going to be a true 2v2 battle, because Peter's Vitter was confirmed. Oh man, lovely Molotov being thrown out by NAIX Congenials just to somewhat try and suppress and give extra time to themselves as a team. Malloy goes onto the very top roof of that building just to try and separate him and Vitamin from any kind of grenades being thrown out by World of Wonders. Now for Hemiski and Sun HP, they are together, which is on one hand a benefit, but What my take is it 2 grenades shoved down those stairs, and members of World of Wonders could be under pressure. It was a lovely grenade, I believe, thrown out by Sun HP that did connect onto Vitamin quite heavily. He's going to lowball another one up there. And that's not really going to connect because Lloyd did reposition quite effectively. Smoke being thrown up by Vitamin all the time. This is just going to lend to other teams possibly pushing around them a little bit more. I hope this fight does end sooner rather than later, just simply off the back of the fact that I want to see what other teams are doing as well. This team fight doesn't really want to contain itself for much longer if it had any plans. A Spectre for ScrimFarm is going to go down into kill feed at the hands of 4 Romanian men. Vitamin disengages on the outside of the building, using that TPP perspective to look to get some shots onto Sun HP. Unfortunately, they don't connect. However, he is creating a little bit of an extra angle of distraction. I think they might look to kind of push in onto World of Wonders off the back of them having them pinched on that lower ground, but actually no, Sun HP and Amiski going to use that opportunity to actually move in on the middle part of that compound, and now it's going to be Amiski pushing forward. The tables have turned, they swap positions, the pincher move comes in, Malloy's going to take a little bit of damage, the DP28 shots from Hemiski, but it is going to be Vitamin that's going to come out on top, and he is going to confirm that squad wipe onto World of Wonders. Oh, baby, that was close. They traded positions in that small building. And at the end of the day, it was NAIX that proved to be a worthy foe against World of Wonders. With this next phase shifting down south, 4 Romanian men's position in that beautiful compound to the west of Cathedral is proving very much worthwhile. GSG Europe also looking pretty good on the edge of the circle down on the lower ground, but they do have to worry about the side of zombies. Even though they are only 3-man team and one of their players is separated up on the end, we are going to see Unicorns of Love, who did hold on to Everest for quite a while, come on down, take down Zico just like that, but now they have to try and find a position into the circle on the southwestern edge. And them coming in late is definitely quite advisable. Quite advisable indeed. SWAT 69 with the dynamic rotation, where at one point they were down on the southern edge of, I think, phase 3 or phase 2, and they obviously wrapped around George Paul Bridge and then have come in on the northeastern side. So I really like that rotation from SWAT 69. Obviously it hasn't worked out, but I can appreciate the attempt. Unicorns of Love, who does have Pecco, somewhat subbing in for this first game. Still yet to find a way down the hill, bar Ked, who has driven down there with the buggy, which I think is quite advisable. Just try and get a little bit of information for the rest of his team. Now, of course, zombies, they're down to 2. They need to be careful that there is the side of GSG Europe waiting to peek in from the wings, but they're going to get suppressed themselves because Levy was knocked down, got a little bit too close, and I think it was Terra Esports or ScrimFarm that got the better of him. Spectre does find Levy, so that's pretty good for ScrimFarm, but now as the push is going to come on through, 4 Romanian men are going to get absolutely surrounded close to them by the members of Unicorns of Love. I like that bold, risky rotation from Unicorns of Love. Yes, they make noise, but at the end of the day, they've been able to push themselves in. Because Ked moved in earlier to get a level of information, they've used that information to push in. Not so blind, but obviously there's still risks involved. ScrimFarm, they would have seen on the kill feed, probably in some way, shape, or form, got a kill onto GSG Europe. So they will have to be careful about a potential third party. The circle to shift over in the favor of Rune, so it's going to help these 3 teams who are currently inside the circle. But how will they deal with the pressure from the likes of NAVI and SWAT 69, who does have a 9Q inside this area? But NAVI, they're going to come in, they're going to take down a few of the SWAT 69 players. And now they are up as a full squad. They're going to full send it in on the western side of the circle. All guns blazing, all balls in play. And that is going to see them full sending it up. Looking for a little bit of a crazy rotation by the Rocks, but they make it work out for now. 4 Romanian Men are surrounded by 3 fantastic teams: ScrimFarm, Unicorn the Love, and NAVI, Natus Vincere. The only thing I fear for Natus Vincere is that they might get third-partied on the outside of the circle by the one and only Alliance, who are up as a 3-man team. You can see Meku's being spotted out in the smoke. You do still have the last player, HATEgaming, but I can't see him having too much of an impact. You can see in the all chat, there's some noises being made on comms as they look to try and get information. Hate is just in the middle of going, hey, ignore me, guys. I'm fine. Ignore me. I'm doing nothing. I'm doing nothing. Take each other out. Take each other out. However, Alliance, they need to start to make a move. They have 15 seconds until the blue zone starts closing in. And yes, it's only phase 5, but phase 5 does hurt a little bit more than you think. Yeah, okay, they have Headache on the other side of the river, ready to hopefully join in on that little bit of a fight. And I do like the fact that Meku did stay on the other side of the river. Discrim is joined up with Headache. We do see that knockdown being fired out onto Matic from Alliance. That's going to hurt Navi's push into this fight. And now as NAIX Congenials push in, they're going to take a little bit of a fight against, I believe, the one and only Terror Esports. Terror are down to 1. I think it is. It's going to be Nashi that's left standing for their side as they chuck out the smokes. The side of runes is in play. It's very tricky to fight around because you don't always have the best to cover, but it also can be hard to swipe your enemies to the side because of all those walls in play. ScrimFarm being able to hold on. GSG Europe did wrap down in the end and were able to keep on going as a 3-man team. Peko of Unicorns of Love has been able to find a knock, and it is going to be the Alliance end up getting the better of being bettered by NAVI in the end. So really, Alliance didn't make that count on that late rotation from across the river. NAVI have been able to get that revive on to Matic. So they are still up as a full squad. Old boy doing a great job at getting a level of information. And for Romanian Men, all credit where it's due. They have held on to this compound that is now just on the edge of circle. Unicorns will all have to try and find a way in, as do the majority of NAVI. Hate Mishi has been able to kind of stay inside the river for a long time. However, he will have to become a mermaid and swim into the land sooner rather than later. 23 seconds until this blue zone starts closing in. We are down to 8 teams, 22 players. It's a little bit of a stalemate, a calm before the storm. Unique, I believe, is the one player that's in the kind of middle of the circle for ScrimFarm. However, he has GSG Europe on one side, Terror on the other. Terror did get that revive on the Jaja, so they're still up as a 2-man team. Let's see what GSG Europe can do as Unicorns of Love look to use that little bit of a low ground dip to swing around ahead of 4 Romanian Men. They are still up as a full squad, so they have that kind of man advantage. Pico's going to get knocked down at the hands of that vehicle blown up. However, it is going to see Ked get that refrag onto one of the players of 4 Romanian Men. GSG Europe, though, are going to hear those shots, are going to see those vehicles move on in, and they're going to look to do something with that. NAVI are actually going to avoid 4 Romanian Men off the back of that. They're now going to have that push in on the northern side of the river with Matic down by the side of the wall with the vehicle in play. ScrimFarm moved away from the cathedral area. Malloy from NAIX Congenials still in play. And Kitsune Adair is going to get that knockdown onto Dexter. A much needed grenade as is going to suppress the members of 4 Romanian Men. Hey, Michi finds Matic, so he's going to be that lovely push as a solo player. He's going to look. He gets 1. He gets 2. It's 1 player left standing for NAVI, and oh my god, in from the water, it's going to be Kitsune, who's going to be left down to Sliver of Hell. Michi, can he prone up? No! Kitsune gets the better of him. He keeps the hopes and dreams alive in this game for NAVI. Oh my god, but what an effort. What an effort. What an effort from Mishi from HATEgaming. He had to go for the play, and he went for it. Nothing NAVI could do. They weren't expecting it. Kitsune is going to get the revive onto Meku. So that's pretty good. However, that stopped them quite heavily, and that's allowed for Romanian Men to focus a little bit more into Unicorns of Love. Ked goes down. Unicorns of Love are down to 3 as they do look to get the better of GSG Europe. Fresh is going to get knocked down. He's going to go down at the hands of the Blue Zone. Pekka's trying to deal with it, and Savage X comes in to get the knockdown onto Rana. The single player prone down. It is going to be Dexter being spot out. No, he's not going to come down. That's going to be the end of Unicorns of Love, and 4 Romanian Men end up surviving. For now, we're into phase 8. We're down to 4 teams just like that. As we have ScrimFarm, Terror, 4 Romanian Men, and this side of... on the side of NAVI? No, 3 teams, should I say. ScrimFarm, NAIX, and 4 Romanian Men. So NAVI went down in the heat of the battles in the last moment. This is absolutely crazy. 4 Romanian Men have 2. ScrimFarm, who held on to Cathedral for a hell of a lot of time in this area. I don't normally like holding on to Cathedral. However, look, credit where it's due to ScrimFarm. They've made it work in their side. They haven't gone too aggressive. They haven't over-peaked it in the wrong moments. And they've gotten themselves into the final 3. Malloy from NAIX Congenials is simply just trying to heal up, hoping that he can get an extra placement point for his side. He does have 11 first aid, so the heal battle is coming on through. Dexter is going to go down. Aim is left on his own as the smokes are being fired up. He's going to find Unique. That's pretty good. Is he going to confirm the kill? Yes, he confirms the kill. That's pretty good. Now on that blowing up vehicle is going to have a little bit more protection. The walls of the zone is going to circle in on the walls of Jericho. The Icy and Spectra hold on to. So 4 Romanian Men, despite Aim being low in health, he's going to kick off that first aid. He's going to have that positional advantage, and phase 8 is going to see the end soon enough, and we'll get into phase 9. Malloy all the while has 5 first aids. He finds a knockdown on the Spectre. He gets that kill off. He's not going to get another first aid, but has he stopped this chicken dinner going over into the hands of ScrimFarm? His aim is going to push forward. He went for the bowl play. I got to give him respect, but at the end of the day, Icy has been able to win this game for himself. And what the hell is going on? It's not coming up with the overall standings. Okay, that's interesting. So I don't know the overall standings. That's a little bit of a bug. Okay, apparently I disconnected for too long. GG, well played. But wow, what a chicken dinner from the side of ScrimFarm. Well played from 4 Romanian Men. They held on to that I'm going to call it the cherry compound outside of ruins. That's what I'm going to call it from now on. I don't know if it's called something else, but they held on to for a long time, and maybe a team should have crashed in on them. Maybe. However, it is quite tough because of the bumps and the raises up and down going into a compound. You can't really smoothly crash it, right? You can kind of peek up and down from a bit of distance and get a couple of shots off, like we saw Unicorns of Love get a knockdown on the 4 Romanian Men. Even NAVI did as well. But then the savior for 4 Romanian Men, it was Mishi from Hate Gaming, came in from the water, the deep blue sea, and he got a double kill onto NAVI, and it was only Kitsune, aka Adir, that came in to get the kill onto Mishi and somewhat not saved the game, but saved that moment for NAVI. And wow, that's a pretty good game. On a side note, can we talk about, like, you know, the amount of amazing people that are watching? These are a bunch of legends, over like 300 people, near over 400 people. These are absolute kick ass. I do have a small delay. I don't have a massive delay on the stream simply because these are somewhat competitive scrims, and I very much kind of trust that there's no, like, you know, there's nothing going on in that regard. The teams are playing at their highest that they could. And yeah, definitely okay, by no means was it a, so to speak, an R push. it was a risky push by AIM. I can respect that, right? Did it work out for him? No, but can I respect that he went for the push and that he kind of went for that bold brass move? Yeah, most players would stay down and they would kind of be a little bit scared, but these are scrims. Why not go for it? You got nothing to lose, and that's what AIM did. And yeah, okay, it didn't work out, but I'm still gonna give him a hell of a lot of respect for that. Oh man, this is crazy. This is kick-ass, man. I love PUBG Mobile. I love PUBG Mobile, man. I absolutely love it. But in the end, we are going to go for a break, and we are going to get ready for game 2 of 4 in tonight's scrims. Game 1, let me remind you, was won by ScrimFarm, and they took out Zeus, the PMGC finalist team. So maybe the power was transferred over to ScrimFarm, and we'll see ScrimFarm in 2021 PMGC finals. Who knows? Of course, we'll have to wait and find out. They'll have a hell of a lot of work to do, but that will be then. This is now, and we are going to take a short break. Before we get into game 2, I'll be back on your screens in roughly 3 minutes. Welcome back to the HATExLakonostra event. We've had game 1 over and done with. It was in Erangel and it was won by ScrimFarm. If you have just joined us, welcome to the stream, and we have 3 more games to go. Game 2 is going to be in the wonderful desert lands of Miramar. We have some absolutely fantastic teams playing in these scrims. Thank you very much to everybody for all the love and support on streams, whether it's on Trovo, whether it's on... Sorry, not Trovo. I don't stream on Trovo. Whether it's on YouTube or Twitch. I was awkward. And thank you very much to everybody for the support. Darth Odin for the bits as well. You absolute legend. And then all the viewership on YouTube. You guys are absolutely kick-ass. Insane in the membrane. And also what is insane in the membrane is the action that is happening in these games, because it was pretty damn intense, if I do say so myself. You know, and also even somebody in chat said it was intense, and I do think that game 1 was pretty cool. The circles were obviously a bit awkward because it included north of the river for the first, I think, like 4 circles, so that was definitely a little bit tricky. But at the end of the day, that's kind of what happens in PUBG Mobile, right? You gotta expect the unexpected, prepare for the worst, and hope for the best, so to speak. Also, huge shout out to my graphic designer Erwin. I hit him up looking for a center iPad overlay for the future, and I said to him, no rush. And what did he go and do? He went and got it done straight away, and I have it uploaded. So I hope that's a little bit better for your eyes, in the sense of it is a bit more central, because I know, to me, it seems just a little bit nicer. So we are into this game 2, and this playing path isn't so nice, to be perfectly honest. I don't like it, really. It's going from the southeast over to the northwest, which, you know, when I say northwest, it's more west than northwest. So it's definitely going to hurt the teams that do like to go on the northern side of the map. But then again, I would say, in my opinion, as a team, you should always look to have a second drop spot on these kind of extreme situations. So if you do like to drop down the south and the playing path is quite heavily north, have a secondary drop spot, and the same the other way around. In this case, if you do like to drop up north, have a second drop spot down south. World of Wonders go to Los Higos. It's the second time they've gone there, at least in the set of scrims that I've casted for Hate Gaming. It was the same yesterday, so it's nice to see them utilizing that Los Higos drop spot. Are we going to have multiple teams go to Pecado? And will we have the same for El Pozo? Navi and Panda seem to both be going to El Pozo. We do have different teams compared to yesterday, but it doesn't change the fact that we can have multiple teams in these compounds. The scrims are the time to fight over land, over property, and hope that you can get the better of your teams. Pecado is our first port of call, as you ScrimFarm, Terror, and SWAT 69. Yesterday, it was Kanina Power that dropped with ScrimFarm and Terror. This time, it's SWAT 69. Moving on over to El Pozo, you do see Navi and Panda again dropping in that area. See that the side of okay, it seems that we do have a little bit of a different team for okay, so instead of GSG Europe, it seems like it's NGG. So that's different. That's a little bit interesting. But they do get an early kill on the Hate Gaming. Los Leones is home to 4 Romanian Men and the side of Zombies. NAIX Congenials dropping in Porto Paraiso. And Conqueror are very much heavily split between the southern side. Unicorns of Love dropping into Misera all to themselves. Divine moved up to San Martin and Hacienda del Petron. And Zeus have gone to Monte Nuevo. Let me just try and confirm. Just gonna try and confirm with Just try and confirm with Cream, the organizer, that NGG are going to replace GSG Europe for the remainder of the games, just so I can confirm that information. But shots are being fired between ScrimFarm and SWAT69. I believe it was ScrimFarm that ended up kind of winning out in the Picado battle between these three teams overall, if I'm not mistaken. Will it be the same today? Rather passive start, all the same, and that is somewhat to be expected, because when both teams, or when teams do kind of have a position inside of Picado, there is a level of caution and uncertainty on whether you can actually move out from your position, right? So, you know, the red apartments occupied by ScrimFarm, which is going to be Janata under pressure. They will not really want to move away, especially now, considering they've been somewhat spotted out. You have SWAT69 in the casino building, and that's actually, no, sorry, not the casino, but the stadium. Then in the casino, you have Terror, who did actually loot over to the hotel for a lot of the area, and then Jaja has been able to rotate around to the side. So I'd say the team that's probably in the best position to disengage / dynamically reposition is definitely Terror. There's a little bit of a risk as Nashi is going to get put under fire by one of the members of ScrimFarm. However, while that happens, we have seen Janata get knocked down by a member of SWAT69. Let's have a look where everybody else is. I didn't really talk about this phase 1 circle. It does not complement the playing path. It does not complement the playing path. So it is going to force a lot of teams to kind of rotate either, in my opinion, super early or super late, and move up around the sides of this map. SWAT69 are moving on forward. They're going to look to try and go for the engage on the SWAT69 off the back of getting that initial knock onto Janata. Yes, the revive came through, but that gave time for SWAT69 to push in onto one of these apartments. Abby, A9Q, and Crazy are all close to the apartments. A little bit of shots being fired up. Zart is going to get a knockdown onto Janata once again. So really, got to give credit to the side of SWAT69. They definitely seem to have the number of ScrimFarm. However, just as I say, the Spectre, they get a knockdown, but with a fantastic grenade being thrown out by Abby, that's going to stop them in their tracks. As Crazy is going to come in, he's going to move on over to the back, and he's going to find Janata. He's going to find Icy, and that's going to be a squad kill over onto ScrimFarm at the hands of SWAT69. A very well-placed engagement from SWAT69, to be perfectly honest. Having Zart across in the stadium really helped them to suppress the members of ScrimFarm. Yes, it also helped them that Terror did not look to kind of third-party that in any way, shape, or form. However, they have repositioned onto SWAT69's original drop spot, which is the stadium. So, we'll have to wait and see if they can do something with that. Panda, off the back of their disengagement away from El Pozo, have lost a player, but will move away as a 3-man team. An early rotation from themselves will somewhat help when it comes to phase 2 and phase 3. They do have to be aware that kind of going so center from where they were is definitely a little bit risky. You have New Era one side, you have Divine the other. I don't know how well that's going to work out for them. New Era has 50-51 separated from the rest of the team, so McCoy from Divine gonna look to move on in and try and find them, but 50-51 is gonna get inside that vehicle and is gonna get the hell out there and join up with the rest of his team. Will he get stabbed in the back by Divine? He should be okay. The battle in Picado between Terror and SWAT69 is, of course, continuing on. There's a knockdown on to Psych. The hands of SWAT69. I think it's just Crazy that's... No, it's not Crazy that's left standing. I thought it was just Crazy that was left standing, but the other members of SWAT69 are on the other side. But now they're going to send it in. Zart is going to push on in. He's going to be on the underground area. Not the underground, but on the bottom floor, moving in onto the second floor. Takes those pre-fire shots, blows off that door, so stops it from protecting Terror a little bit more. That's going to allow Abby to push on in onto the side and join up with him. Lovely pinch being thrown out. I would like to see Crazy join. Oh, Crazy has indeed joined up onto the other side. So it's a 3-man push as the smoke is being chucked on out. Don't know if that smoke was really worth it or if he's going to look to try and disengage. I think he's on the second floor. It's Crazy. He's going to find the shots. He's going to knock down Chills is going to get knocked down. And now it's going to be another knockdown coming on through as it's just going to be one last player for the side of Terra Esports. I believe it's Noshi that's left standing. It is indeed Noshi that's on his own. He's on half health. He's at the very bottom floor. While the damage had been done onto the members of SWAT 69, that has allowed Noshi to come in and get some form of revive onto his teammates. Crazy is going to get that first aid off. He gets a jump shot. He gets a squad wipe. And SWAT 69, they're not playing around. They're on 8 kills. And they become the kings of Picado. While that has happened, we see the blue zone of phase 1 is closing in. And what kind of rotations are these teams pulling off? Next, Cagino's making a very wise rotation from Porto Paraiso, all on the eastern side, looking to go just beside Minas Generalis. For Romanian Men are a little bit ahead of La Bedita, just outside of Graveyard. We see NGG rotating ahead of Graveyard, just outside Hacienda San Martin. Is a pretty good place to come around. And Alliance, who do normally loot the northern side of Miramar, are going to occupy that position fairly. NAVI going for a deeper rotation around the western side to come in just to the east of La Cabrera, which is a very clever rotation for them to pull off. Divine is going to have one of their players knocked down. Merlin, I believe, at the hands of New Era. So nice play by New Era. However, they got to think of Panda coming in from behind on those vehicles. So holding on to that high ground position is going to be a little bit trickier than they might think. Nice sprays by Galshanok. Nearly finds Merlin, but playing around those rocks is definitely a little bit tricky. I think NAIX have found Hate Gaming, so that fight is going to break out as Fox was knocked down. Fox, former member of ScrimFarm, if I'm not mistaken. Now he's going to have to try and help himself as Beast is going to get a knockdown onto Vitamin, so Swave is going to have a chance to somewhat heal up. It is 2 against 3 as Jackie, Malloy, and Peters Vitter, to absolutely fantastic team. Next Congenials are got so close to qualifying for the PMGC from the EMEA League last year. So hopefully 2021 will be a even more successful year for Next Congenials. Hate Gaming are going to use this opportunity to disengage away from this fight, which is very clever, especially considering where Phase 2 went. It shifted up northwest into the loving arms of NAVI and Alliance, respectively. 2 fantastic CIS teams as well. We all know the history that NAVI does uphold. The level of competition that's within that squad completely is pretty damn incredible. Zeus, the 3rd place team from the PMGC finals, the Mongolian Superstars, that stole the hearts of many, many fans in the PMGC finals. Looking for shots onto Divine on the hills of San Martin, overlooking that player. Fresh is going to come in and get a knock on the Vitamin, so that little bit of a backstab from Unicorns of Love as Next Congenials left a little bit too late to move in, and now they are going to face up against the side of Unicorns of Love in this fight outside the circle, as well as the fact there being a red zone just to add to the trickiness of the situation for both squads, to be fair, because it may be in the advantage of Unicorns of Love. However, we have seen them make mistakes when it comes to engagements in the past, and when they have a player that isn't normally on their side, as Fresh goes down, it's going to be 3 against 2. So Peters Vitter confirms that kill. That's where I don't get why Ked is going for that off angle so far away. I think that's really, you know, there's a time and a place to go for an off angle engagement, and I don't think this is the time now. Conqueror are going to come in on the outside as well. They're a team that normally like to play on the outside of the circle, so they'll have no problem taking the fight. As Pekka's going to feel the brunt, feel the damage. He's going to have to try and dance the night away from the engagement that's being thrown at by Conqueror. However, there's a little bit of a backstab as it's another third-party fight from World of Wonder. So 3 teams outside the circle. This is pretty damn amazing. What the hell is going on between these teams? Oh my absolute sweet Jesus. This is pretty damn crazy. Conqueror don't even know what's going on, as they were focused a little bit more on Unicorns of Love and they got stabbed from behind. Sun HB does confirm Marley, so that's going to leave Conqueror down to 3 players, and that instantly changes how they need to play this fight. However, Vito comes in that gets a swipe knock on the Sun HB and definitely help their troubles. Zessie's going to get targeted as well from Vito's as he looks to move in for the reposition and join up with Reeds. Reeds is going to full send the forward. He's going to occupy that position that Sun HB was in and confirm that kill onto the player of World of Wonders. Nicely done by Conqueror. It's important that they look to join together somewhat. Reasons add these together is Enjoy 7, Zessie, and Miski are definitely further apart. The thing is, World of Wonder can lose that low ground dip across the road to join up as a 3-man team. Will that allow Vito to join to join up with his Conqueror teammates to make it a clean 3v3? Rees, the Irish God himself, finds a clean knockdown on the side of the house onto the side of World of Wonders, but will they be able to push that? You have Zessie on that off angle. Zessie's going to fire up those shots. It's so important. And Vito goes a little bit too deep, my friend. You went a little bit too deep and you paid the price. But at the end of the day, the Conqueror teammates, that is Rees and Azzy, are going to fire on up and get that second kill for their side. And then Azzy is going to come on in. The squad light comes on through and they're even going to get the revive onto Vito. Fantastic team fight from Rees and the rest of the Conqueror squad. Now the blue zone is hitting the ground. A lot of teams are centered up in the middle of the circle. We have seen 4 Romanian men get close to Divine. Divine have been isolated to San Martin itself. Zeus were put under pressure, I believe, from Alliance. However, what I don't like about Alliance's position is that 2-2 split. I think it's a little bit risky. I get it's only phase 2, but oh man, mate. Look, you know what? Let's see if it works out. I will reserve my judgment. It just worries me a little bit. Unicorns of Love are going to continue to battle against NAIX Congenials further up ahead. As Pitter Fitter was knocked down, some Loy's now left on his own as the blue zone is hitting the ground. Unicorns of Love squad did get out of that previous potential fight involving 3 to 4 teams at the right moment, and getting a kill for their side, making it 3 in total, is going to help them. Alliance does get Discrim knocked down at the hands of Zeus. That's going to, of course, stop Alliance. And now it's going to be important. Yeah, it's going to be important now for Ruder. And yeah, perfect. It's going to be important for Ruder and Sunrise to get in those vehicles and join up with the rest of her team. Not only to try and get the revive on the Discrim, but where those 2 players are is in the center of the circle. 4 Romanian men and Divine on the southeast side of the circle in the edge of San Martin are going to be fighting on the brink of it, as 4 Romanian men are down to 3 players. Divine have been able to get that kill and give that man advantage over to them, but they are just about inside the circle. Only 1 of their players are outside of it. Not going to be too bad. Hate. It's only going to be phase 3 damage, so it's not going to cause them too much hassle. Navi staying on the northern side of these circles. It's working out for them. And now Dexter is going to get a sweet knockdown on the Revenant. That's going to stop side of Divine getting too much of an advantage in this fight. Help for Romanian men inside this gigantic warehouse building. Protect it. They can play on the outside of it. They can go on the other side of where Divine are if they want to. However, they got to think about the fact that you have the likes of Lakonostra power that is looking to third party this, and that's what you get for maybe leaving a little bit too late to rotate. Teams go around you, you stagnate, and you know, it kind of falls apart for you. Yeah, okay, 4 Romanian men are inside the circle, but unless the next phase shifts in their favor, it's only going to get harder for them. SWAT 69 and New Era are close to each other. Again, NAVI, as I talked about them, they're going to be on the northern side of this river. Another knockdown onto Discrim, by the way, from Zeus. That's really going to hurt him in kind of the later game. He's got no helmet, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he's got no helmet. Sir Discrim, would you mind stop getting knocked? As Hate Gaming is going to get a lovely knockdown onto Meku from a distance. The only thing is that, actually, no, I think it was actually NGG. But either way, for Hate Gaming, if they did get that knockdown onto Meku, they need to think about the fact that they're not inside the circle. A very deep rotation from Unicorns of Love coming in on the northern side. However, it could be a little bit too late for them to do anything with that. I like the fact that they're trying something different with it, though. They're going to stop a little bit further. Hate Gaming are going to get close to them. It's going to be a little bit of a fight as Swave is going to try and get ahead inside the circle and then somewhat gatekeep Unicorns of Love. Savage X is on the outside with Peko of the circle as Ked is going to find that forward position inside. He's going to take a little bit of damage. He's going to go pretty much 2-1 in the hands of Old Boy and Kitsune. But now he's going to look to try and reposition, which is very wise from Ked, but I don't know if it's going to work out. Sprays are going to be fired up. He's going to get out of there, and Old Boy might have to just continue looking in a direction of that warehouse. He's going to see Ked inside there. Got an M24, so Pet the Headshot Baldy could be pretty effective in this manner. SWAT 69, a New Era. I said they were pretty close to each other, but now this fight is really going to start to break out. Salah is knocked down from zombies. It's actually, sorry, my apologies. It's actually 3 teams. It's 3 teams. Zombies, New Era, and SWAT 69. I didn't realize because they were like, you know, New Era and zombies are similar color and you don't see the team number until you actually overview it. So, you know, 3 teams in one area. Zombies are definitely pinched quite heavily. Zaku playing on that low ground dip. It is at risk of a few grenades, but I don't know if SWAT 69 or the side of New Era have them. But in the end, 50-51 is going to push it in quite nicely along with his teammates as a full squad. Going to leave it down with just Echo left standing of zombies. But in through the smokes, it's going to come on the overside. Zeko is going to be put under pressure. He's going to get spotted out. Yes, he is indeed. And that's going to be the end of the zombies. New Era win that fight. And again, a little bit surprised that SWAT 69 didn't look to third party this somewhat. But maybe because they are a 2-man team or 3-man team, should I say, they don't really want to push, and I can kind of respect that. However, that gives New Era a chance to focus on SWAT 69, and SWAT 69 look to try and disengage away from that. Zard is going to be put under pressure, but they are going to hold on for now. The next circle does favor NAVI quite nicely. Divine are going to come in. 4 Romanian Men are holding on for dear life. Zeus has lost Godless, but there is still Abilene, Icy, and ZUoL left standing. Savage X is going to come in. They're going to look to get the fight onto Conqueror, but Pekka was knocked down, and that hurts their chances as Savage X is outside, and Conqueror are going to have 4 kills in their favor. Savage X is going to get spotted out. It does leave Ked on his own outside the circle, and that's what you get for separating a little bit too heavily. Unicorns of Love. Oh man, it's a little bit fearful. Is Conqueror going to come on in? That's going to add their 6th kill, and that's going to be the end of Unicorns of Love. And I believe it was an M24 from Old Boy that got the better of him. His beast is going to get fired up. NAVI have to start to get aggressive. They have to start get controlling. They know what they need to do, whether it's teams on the outside of the circle, whether it's teams inside the circle. They need to stop teams from getting anywhere near their position, anywhere near their location. Conquerors are going to be the next team coming in on the edge of the circle, down the bottom of the hill, full sending it in. Azzy and Vito. Azzy's going to get spotted. He moves outside of that vehicle, and he does get that knockdown on to Meku. Now it's going to be a Vito getting knocked down, and that is the end of Conquerors. Unfortunately, it was just too much for them to handle. Meku Will they be able to get the revive onto their teammate? I don't know if that's going to be the case, but either way, they're doing a great job of turning around, taking the fight on multiple teams in this area. Lovely job by NAVI. The next circle is outside a little bit of where they currently are, but off the back of getting that revive, that will still allow them to hold on to the northern side of the circle, along with NGG and Lakonostra. Power Panda coming in on the western side as well. They'll be able to hold on to those small couple of buildings. They've been gifted the life of this position inside the circle, near down the bottom of the hill, and that's actually going to somewhat help them either side of the valley that is this phase 5. Alliance still holding on as well as a full squad. They have a 3-1 split, which, you know what, I actually don't disagree with. They have multiple vehicles that they can play around. However, they did allow the likes of NGG and Lakonostra to get somewhat ahead of them, so they're going to have to use this man advantage to do something with it. NGG are inside the circle, but they are somewhat prone down and inside a little bit of smoke. The wrap around from Alliance as they look to try and do some with that. Lovely pre-fire shots from Alliance to suppress the members of NGG. Discrim does find Itachi nicely done, but now the rest of the Alliance members might look to push in onto that compound held onto by NGG. NGG or NGG. Lakonostra power trying to find something, but they don't have much cover-wise. They are definitely being very careful with their current position. Panda are going to be putting their fire at the hands of Old Boy with his M24. Love to see more bolt action shots being fired on through his router. Out in the open, he's going to look to cook up a grenade. He has an idea of where the members of Lakonostra power are, and we do see Lakonostra kick things off by getting a cheeky grenade knock on to Sunrise. It's going to be a third party from, I believe, New Era or 4 Romanian Men to stop Alliance dead in their tracks, and they've been wiped out just like that. I think it was actually NAVI that came in along with New Era. They're a little bit too close to a number of teams, and they paid the price. New Era coming in from the outside of the circle, making that position count. They are still a full squad now. They're going to full send it in. Lakonostra power saved off the pressure of Alliance, but can they save off the pressure of New Era? No, I don't know if that's going to be the case. Style goes down, and Natus goes down, and New Era overtake that position. Nicely done by themselves. The circle goes down south. It's not in the favor of NAVI, but they have to move down this hill quite effectively. They're going to make it work by initially getting a knockdown onto 50-51, but I don't know if that's a target that they need to acquire, that they need to take down. There's no position inside the circle that is really worthwhile. You have the bottom of the hill that's going to be surrounded by both sides of the valley, and then they're going to have each side of the hill which is up hill, and that's going to be hard to hold on to. Also, Old Boy's going to just full send it in just to go on the southern side of the circle. It's a risk, but it's a risk worth taking because it's going to give him information, and it's going to give that anchor point for the rest of his team to follow on through. But will they make that man advantage count? Will they make that position account? As Panda coming in on the outside of the circle. Kitsune being spotted by GK the first, but can't find the shots, my friend. Can't find the shots. Final 5 teams in this game. 13 players left standing. NGG, NAVI, NAIX, Congenials once again holding on into the top 5. Great consistency from themselves. New Era, Panda, and NAVI. Kitsune is going to look to join up with Old Boy off the back of the smokes being thrown out. Malloy does find Meku inside the blue zone. Oh man, a little bit similar to what Hate Gaming did to NAVI in the previous game. They're getting backstabbed, but that's the way it can happen. Luckily, it's only one victim as Matic does join up with the rest of his team. Malloy is most likely going to go down at the top of the hill, whether it's to the blue zone or whether it's to either of these teams. It is the play zone that claims the victim. His K is going to get spotted out. Banger is now the last player standing for the side of NGG as we're down to our final 4 teams. Panda have been able to take a little bit of a fight to the side of NAVI, and New Era possibly joining in on this area as well, as they are still up as a 3-man team. Galshanok coming on through. Old Boy is knocked down. Matic is now the last player standing. He's going to take the fight on the Banger, but can't Banger find him on the side of that rock. But it is going to be Matic going to take on another fight. 50-51 gets knocked down off the back of a third party at the hands of Panda. Perfect timing. That's giving Matic a chance to survive. He pulls off a first aid grenade with a sliver of health. There is still Crilio that is left for New Era, but with Linnea and K2 pushing on in, I can't see Crilio stand for much longer, and indeed, he goes down. Old Boy has still yet to be confirmed. They're in the top 3. Is this going to be a NAVI chicken dinner? Banger has been putting the bangers and match pressure onto NAVI. All the while, Panda have been reaping the rewards, reaping the benefits, as it is going to be a sweet, cheeky grenade by Banger to get the kill, to knock on the Old Boy, and then it is going to be a 1v3, as Banger has 0 health, but all he has is the heart, the guts, and the soul, and the blue zone to do something in his favor. It's not going to be it. It is going to be Panda claiming the chicken dinner in Miramar. Man, what a way to end the game. Navi holding on for dear life, and I mean dear life, gifted the gift of a Panda push on the New Era. It allowed Matic to have a sliver of health, and I mean like a sliver of health. Now, should he have gotten the revive onto Old Boy? Probably not. He actually should have used the opportunity to push on the Banger of NGG, take out kind of what's behind you, then go for the revive. But I kind of get why he did go for the revive. However, all that allowed Banger to do is chuck up a grenade, get that knockdown onto Old Boy, and then Panda came in, finished off Navi, and then it was that 1v3 that went in the favor of Panda. I wasn't sure whether it's going to work out for Panda, but the circumstances worked out in their favor. They picked the right moments to push in onto the likes of New Era, third party, that fight a little bit, and then they made it work, and all credit to them. Absolutely fantastic game 2. To take you through the overall standings, Panda did come out on top with 5 kills nonetheless. NGG in second with 5 kills. Navi in third with 6 kills. New Era in fourth with a hell of a lot of kills. They had 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 kills for New Era. So in my eyes, despite not winning the game, I'd say New Era are the winners of that game in that regard. NAIX Congenials in fifth with 4 kills. A top 5 finish once again for the side of NAIX Congenials, holding on for the bitter end. That's really good stuff for them. For Romanian Men, much better performance from themselves. 6th place with 2 kills. Lakonostra Power in 7th with 3 kills. Alliance in 8th with 3 kills. SWAT 69 in 9th with 8 kills. You had Divine in 10th with 2 kills. Hate Gaming in 11th with 1 kill. Conqueror in 12th with 6 kills. You had Zeus Esports in 13th with 2 kills. You had Unicorns of Love in 14th with 4 kills. You had Zombies in 15th with 0 kills. World of Wonder in 16th with 0 kills. 1 kill. Terror Esports in 17th with 1 kill. And ScrimFarm in 18th with 0 kills. So game 1 in Erangel was won by ScrimFarm, but game 2 in Miramar has gone over to Panda. An absolutely fantastic result for themselves. I know these are just screens, but I can't help hyping them up as if it's the best game in the world and the most important game in the world. It's just what I do. I get excited, my friends, but at the end of the day, these are just scrims. It is situational for them to try different things as a team, to get practice in as a new roster, to work on comms, to work on positioning, to work on the engagement. So scrims are always going to be somewhat different picture compared to a truly competitive tournament. But at the end of the day, if the teams, if myself, if we can provide you guys with a level of entertainment and hype, happy days, I've done my job. Man, moving into game 3, we're going to be going over to the jungle of Sanhok. Again, pepperoni for Vikendi, no longer going to be in the majority of these scrims because of its removal from the 2021 competitive PUBG mobile scene. So it is always going to be the majority of Erangel that's going to be played. We started with Erangel. We moved on to the Miramar for game 2. We are going over to Sanhok for game 3. And game 4 is going to be Erangel as usual once again. Let me just set the timer so you all know when I'm going to be coming back. And then I can give myself a break. I can give you guys a little bit of a rest to go to the toilet, get a drink, get a popcorn, whatever you need to do. And I will be back on your screens in roughly about 4 minutes. Welcome back to the HATExLakonostra event. My name is ImPERium, and thank you very much for tuning in. These are all a bunch of absolute legends straight off the bat. And yeah, simple as that. These are all a bunch of legends. We've had 2 games so far. If you have just tuned in, we're halfway through this event. There is a cheeky little €50 prize for the winning team. It's a, hey, look, it's better than a kick in the face. So it's a little bit of an extra incentive that is provided by Lakonostra Power. So much love to them. And yeah, 2 games so far. We've had one in Erangel that was won by ScrimFarm, and then game 2 was won by Panda that we just had in Miramar. Moving on to game 3, we're going to have Sanhok, and then the final game is going to be over on Erangel. Thank you again to every single person that's tuning in. I see somebody has been asking, where's Kanina Power? Unfortunately, there's no Kanina Power for today's games. If you're asking why, I would imagine that only they can answer that question. So maybe feel free to message one of the Kanina Power players and ask them why they haven't been able to participate in these amazing scrims today. They're missing out. Of course, it's always a pleasure and honor to cast the boys from Kanina Power, KP Alga in chat, as well as every single other team that is playing. It's always genuinely, you have no idea, like I say it all the time, but it is seriously an honor to cast all of these teams. I love it. I absolutely love it. Whether it's scrims, whether it's a tournament, whether it's a small tournament, a major tournament, it doesn't really matter. I absolutely love casting these teams. We are going to be getting into game 3 pretty damn soon. Sanhok, of course, is a map that is quite difficult to navigate and to play around and even to control. There is definitely a way to pull it off. When it comes to the teamfight engagements, you genuinely have to make those quick and swift, especially if you're already either on the edge or outside the circle. You have to rotate a bit quicker, but you also have to make a little bit of noise. Be careful of snakes, don't get me wrong. Stick together as a team. A few of those key points can really make a difference and add to how beneficial your end result can be in Sanhok. But as we move in to this game, let's turn the music down. Let's turn the game volume up and let's get into it. Just bear with me for a sec as I do need to blow my nose. Sorry about that. I don't think anybody wants to hear me blowing my nose. I had to find some tissue. But anyway, let's get into this action because you do see instantly, I believe, Divine and Alliance dropping in boot camp. There's no World of Wonder or even Conqueror. Actually, no, there is World of Wonder. Sorry, should I say World of Wonder? Have lost Enjoy 7 and Hemiski, so it is just Sun HP that's standing while the game just kind of renders in. Unfortunately, there can be that little bit of a delay. Alliance aren't quite sending their whole full squad. Sun HP is on a sliver of health. He's pretty much done for. Done diddly on for. Dunzo. World of Wonder go out early on once again in Sanhok. Oh man, I need to get away from this air sound. I need to get away from this air sound as Navi is going to look to fight up against Panda. It seems like Navi might be testing some different drop spots indeed, but when you're contested by a team, it doesn't make things any easier. Oh boy, is going to get taken out, and that is going to be the end of Navi. Wow. Panda, my friends. Oh baby, are we seeing the rise of the Panda? Have they transferred their powers? Oh man. Good stuff from Panda. Winning game 2, coming into game 3, wiping out Navi. Ho, you gotta love it. You gotta love it. I apologize all the fans of Navi in the chat, but that's the way it is. Sometimes a team fight just doesn't go your way. Now, Alliance are somewhat in boot camp, but they're not really in boot camp. They have one player in the warehouses across the way. They have one player in the edge of boot camp, and they have the other 2 players outside. For Romanian Men getting a cheeky kill on the NAIX Congenials, putting them down to 3 players. And that's kind of what I said about sticking together. I think it is very important in Sanhok to stick together as a squad. Like, for Romanian Men, bar having Sushi further away, they are together as a 3-man team. So that was always going to benefit them a little bit more in a small engagement. And NAIX Congenial is just a little bit too separated. Kind of paid the price for it. Oh, Peter's Vitter's going to take a little bit of damage. He's more. Come on, surely no. He is able to survive. Wow. Wow, lovely shots by 4 Romanian Men to once again to create a bit of a protective barrier. However, New Era are coming across the way. They've disengaged away from Paradise Resort, where they did loot that area up, and Rana's going to get spotted out by UBL. Doesn't matter if it's phase 1 or phase 6, there's always a chance you can get third partied, and it's something you definitely have to be aware of. Especially when you're close to Paradise Resort, as 4 Romanian Men are, to be perfectly honest. Now, Sushi and the other players of 4 Romanian Men do generally have a pretty solid high ground position, bar no, Aim's in the low ground. Dexter's gonna be no low ground, to be honest. So it's really only Sushi that has some form of prominent position, but great response coming out from Dexter as he looks to support his teammate Sushi inside that tree line. However, all that's doing is allowing the rest of New Era to get closer to Sushi and use that teamwork to compress onto the members of 4 Romanian Men. 50. Oh, UBL, man, what a lovely Kobe grenade to get that knocked down onto Sushi. Well played. Well played. That puts even more pressure onto Dexter and the rest of 4 Romanian Men. One thing that I will say is Aim did get the revive onto Rana, so that's kind of one positive. However, it kind of begs the question of, was it worth it? Is it going to be worth it? We'll have to wait and see. Aim is looking in the direction of one of the NAIX Congenials players, using that TPP perspective to get some information. He's also now going to get third party by Jackie, and that's where, just to kind of, you know, why go outside the buildings? Why go outside the buildings? That's kind of one thing I want to know. Why go outside the buildings, Aim? UBL does find Sushi as well, so it is going to be Dexter around that's left standing. Lovely by Galchinok to find Peter's Vitter. As New Era do continue to push in on both of these squads. Really nicely done indeed. Conqueror. From Conqueror. Where are Conqueror fighting? Oh yeah, they're fighting against Lakonostra Power, and it's just Analysis that's left standing across the bridge looking for Azzy. Does find them, but Reese I think is coming in on the underside. 3 of the Lakonostra players have been caught out earlier on, so that's really not going to help him as the last player standing. Brana's still inside that building, and the best thing he can do is just stay in there, as Dexter is going to get confirmed up. NAIX Congenials and New Era are going to look to fight against each other somewhat. So definitely the last player for Romanian Men is better off staying prone down. 2 members in New Era were knocked down, so nice job by NAIX Congenials. However, Panda, who just recently took out NAVI at the start of the game, riding high off the back of the chicken dinner in game 2, are coming in from the eastern side. That was Camp Bravo, and could come into third. If anything, fourth party, this fight between NAIX, 4 Romanian Men, and New Era. NAIX have to be careful with the footsteps being heard. No, Linea. Oh, you missed your opportunity, man. You missed your opportunity. You somewhat hesitated, tried to change your gun, and you kind of not paid the price, but you just missed that shot, and Jackie is now going to be able to move away. By no means, though, is it still bad for Panda. They have 3 players who are all together, so really, you know, it's not the worst thing in the world. Phase 2 is about to pop up. Terror still on the northwestern island. Yes, SWAT 69 across the way as well. I think that's a botation that's coming out from Hate Gaming, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's Hate Gaming with the botation across the way. I think they maybe could be trialing another player, Nax Corda. Never heard of him. I don't know if he's another player with just a different tag. ScrimFarm did move into Paradise Resort. They're now moving over on the eastern outskirts of the compound, looking for shots on the next Congenials, and that's going to be the case. Another knockdown flies on through ScrimFarm, taking advantage of that one quite nicely. Very, very nicely done by ScrimFarm. They may have finished 16th in the first game, but there's no doubt that they are not afraid to continue to fight in these games. Conqueror is still coming in on the outskirts of the circle. They lost Vito early on, but they do still have Reeves, Azzy, and Marley left standing. I'd love to see them get in. I know these are just scrims, but I would love to see Conqueror get into the late game as a full squad, because I know they're incredibly strong as individual players, and it's never easy closing out a game as a three-man team. So I would like to see what they can do, you know, into the late game as a full squad. Again, I know these are only scrims, but there's still always a little bit of an indication of what a team can do in the competitive setting. Terra did move across the ocean, or the river, should I say, to the mainland off the back of that phase 2 circle shift. They're going to go onto the high ground compound. They are, of course, being very, very, very aware of their surroundings, and I can definitely respect it. Alliance are going to take the shots on the Jaja, and he doesn't prone down in the right way, and Discrim finds him. That was always going to be a risk to him kind of being on his own in that area. It does still leave Terror with a three-man team. I doubt Jaja will look to get revived. Alliance with a clean rotation from the boot camp hills early on to get into the center of this phase 2. It's not the highest of grounds because it is kind of surrounded by the high ground of that coastline and the high ground of Paradise Resort, but either way it is surrounded by a lot of four walls and roof. The router being on that roof line, that is providing a much more higher elevated position for them to use to their advantage. Hate off the back of that rotation is definitely going to kind of work out in their favor. However, I still don't like the fact that they are somewhat separated off the back of that, and they should look to recognize and push in on that. Jaja was confirmed. Terror is going to be put under even more pressure, and Alliance are actually going to look to push on that. The revive should come on through onto at least one of the Terror players. Chills should most likely get caught up, but at the end of the day, it's just going to be a little bit of a tree line and play. The push is going to come on through. That's going to be the Alliance kicking things off and getting 3 kills for their game and controlling even more of an area coming into phase 3. Absolutely fantastic. Now Divine coming up on the southern side of Paradise Resort. They've been able to get a couple of knocks onto the members of ScrimFarm. However, with Merlin knocked down, that's stopping them from pushing forward. Have ScrimFarm disengaged or separated a little bit too heavily. Unique is now going to be the only one around it to get those revives. A New Era are looking to push in on the Paradise Resort terrain. I love the fact that Carrillo is separated on the outskirts of that city. He's going to be coming in from behind. However, UBL is going to get knocked down. Unique, absolutely fantastic player for ScrimFarm. He's really been a breath of fresh air on how ScrimFarm have played, how aggressive they are in team fights, and let's be fair, how successful they are in these team fights. Really, really love the way he's playing. However, could get suppressed up as Panda are going to be in the warehouse down below. They are waiting in the wings. They are down on the low ground, so their information is a little bit smaller and isolated. ScrimFarm did get those 2 revives off at the back of Unique, doing a fantastic job so far in this game, but he is going to get knocked down by Linea, and that was the third party, so to speak, that I thought might happen for Panda when he found the opportunity to strike. The thing is, they're not going to move on that, though. And I do kind of get that, because I would have heard the shots around them. And because that circle did kind of shift down the southwest, they're actually nearly somewhat better either moving fully away from Paradise Resort and going down to the south, compound rather than, you know, rather than pushing in onto Paradise Resort. Nobody on the southern side of this phase 3, so that's absolutely fantastic for Conqueror. The thing is, they don't know that, so they are definitely being quite cautious as they move in onto the black hole outside boot camp. It is high ground, so it is going to give them a lot of information. As they move a little bit more north, they'll be able to get a lot of sightlines on the Paradise Resort Hills, or the South Paradise Resort Hills. The last player next, Congenial, is going through logging terrain that is the one and only Tapmock. You are able to kind of somewhat protect yourself against a number of those wood packages. However, with multiple hate players surround him, it's not going to be easy for him to do something with that. He's hanging on the side of a tractor on top of the wheel. Is it a tractor? I'm going to call it a tractor. He chucks up a grenade. Tries to pre-fire, and now he's going to chuck up another one, I believe. Pre-fires up. He's going to hear those footsteps. Lovely vision coming out. Lovely awareness from Peter's Vitter, but the shots are going to be fired up. Swave finds him. That's a little bit of a risk, but credit where credit is due. Nicely executed by Swave, and that's going to be another kill for, actually not another, I think it's Hate Gaming's first kill, as NGG is going to be looking in their direction from the hills outside Tapmock, which is quite valuable. However, out in the open, a QBU driven Michi is going to get a knockdown onto Banger of NGG. Now Itachi on the side building overlooking Tapmock, looking for Sway. That was a fantastic knockdown from Hate Gaming, and it's really going to help them. They do know, and they have to be aware that
Kurwa, kurwa, i daj.
Oh crap! I managed to mute myself. Oh, rip. I managed to press the mute button. Ripperoni pepperoni. Sorry about that, guys. Thanks for letting me know. I can now be heard. I should now be heard. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. I managed to yeah, I managed to press the mute button on my keyboard. I don't know exactly what happened, but hopefully that won't happen again. Yeah. Either way, hey, look, I'm a potato at the end of the day. Thanks for calling me a stupid caster, though. That really means a lot. Thank you so much. You should be able to hear me now. Can't believe you don't hear me. Okay. Just making sure. I managed to Okay. Now my voice is working. Okay, cool. Cool. Want to make sure. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know how that managed to happen, but either way, I'm an idiot. I'm an absolute idiot. Thank you. But thank you for calling me a stupid caster. That does mean a lot. But anyway. Yeah. Pretty much all of what I said is... Yeah. Okay. Let's go over the standings overall for this game just before I go into break. Panda, first place with 9 kills. Fantastic result for themselves. New Era in second with 10 kills. Really good amount of kills and great control. Great positioning on the edge of Paradise Resort. It was a much more sensible position to be in overall for the most part. If you are going to stay in Paradise Resort, Unicorns of Lob with a great rotation from south took out Conqueror. They come out in third with 5 kills. Divine in fourth with 8 kills. Fair play to them, but if they had have eliminated Panda, it could have been their game to win rather than Panda's, but it is what it is. For Romanian Men in fifth with 1 kill. Better result again coming out from themselves. A little bit shaky, but credit where it's due. SWAT 69 and 6 with 0 kills. Alliance in 7th with 8 kills. Really great aggression coming out from Alliance, but unfortunately those circle shifts just kind of and those fights from outside the circle definitely didn't help. Okay, cool. Then we have NGG in 8th with 2 kills. We have Conqueror in 9th with 4 kills. Hate Gaming in 10th with 5 kills. ScrimFarm in 11th with 4 kills. NAIX Congenials in 12th with 2 kills, with 1 kill. You had Terror Esports in 13th with 1 kill. You had Lakonostra Power in 14th with 1 kill. NAVI in 15th with 1 kill. And World of Wonder in 16th with 0 kills. Oh man. Oh, good old delay and good old audio bug. Not audio bug, but audio mistake by myself. GG, well played. ImPERium, GG, well played. So on that note, I am going to go for a bit of a break. But, let me just set the timer up for the break, and then I'll go on a break before we get into the last game. 58, 59. Cool, I'm gonna go for a break, but I will be back in your screens, actually shorter than you think, for the final game of the day. Let me just switch it up to make sure I have the right one. Bingo! See you guys in a few. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the HATExLakonostra event. I already said it in chat, and I even did a cheeky translation of it as well into Russian. But I do apologize about the lack of sound. Apparently, it's for the last 10 minutes of the game, which not only is frustrating for me in terms of broadcasting to you guys because you aren't hearing any commentary, but it's obviously frustrating for me because my voice was utilized and not heard, if that makes sense, you know? So really sorry about that, guys. Hopefully it won't happen again. And I'm actually going to be, to be fair, I'm going to be a little bit paranoid of it coming into this final game. I must have pressed something on my keyboard to cause it to happen. And yeah, I don't know. It's yeah. I'm an idiot, but either way, let's get into this final game of the day. We're heading on over to the Erangel terrain for our final game. Hell yeah, let's go. We started with Erangel. We're gonna end with Erangel. Let's do it, baby. Very central playing path. Can't really complain about it. Can't really complain about it at all. Oh, man. Oh, well. Yeah, I'm actually really annoyed. I'm really annoyed, man. I'm really annoyed at that. Either way, I have to shake it off because this game is underway. NAVI are going to drop in North George as expected. SWAT 69 going to drop on the southwest side of this map. Going to be Unicorn Love going to a normal drop spot. Split drop spot. Seems like there's no Lakonostra for this final game of the day, unfortunately. So it is going to leave Hate Gaming with Rozhok to themselves. NAIX Congenial's going for a split drop between Watertown and School. Nobody in Pachinki once again. For Romanian Men on their normal coastal drop spot as well. Yeah, I can still be heard. I'm like looking at my OBS going, is my mic working? Yeah, it's working now. NGG are going to be with... Actually, no, Lakonostra switching things up and going to Milta. Maybe they're going for a different drop spot. Normally, they go to Lipovka, but here's the thing. With these scrims, it's a good time for them to test different drop spots. Of course, they are with NGG, so it's not going to be the easiest to hold onto. Stylus surrounded by Hiske and Banger. Well, PRZ is close to Banger, so it shouldn't be... It's more of a 2v2, 1v1, and 1v1 between these two teams. So they're both kind of split a little bit of similar area. I worry for Ben, though, because you look at Analysis and Alibaba, they're much closer together kind of thing. So they're going to be able to support each other, whereas Ben and Itachi, they're kind of further apart. So I wonder how much help they're going to be able to provide each other. Is that a little bit of a potential backstab, mind you, so we'll have to wait and see. Plus with Banger across the road, either way, it's going to be hard for either of these teams to engage onto each other. Phase 1 is very much on the western side of the map, a little bit more southwest. It's a very common Phase 1 circle all aboard, to be perfectly honest. Most of these teams will be used to this kind of Phase 1. I'd love to see Conqueror actually pull off a little bit of a rotation that goes down onto Military Island and then pushes in on the Western Bridge, but I don't know if they're going to work on that, as Analysis is going to get taken out. It is going to be a lovely push by NGG to get 2 knockdowns onto the members of Lakonostra. Power Style is going to return fire, taking down Ben, and now can PRZ do something with his off-angle. Style does get a first aid kit off Banger. His guy looking to stick together, so that clean revive should be utilized, but PRZ is going to be pushing in onto the same building as Banger. With Thompson in his hands, he enters the building. He's going to go on the lower ground. A grenade is going to be cooked up as a little bit of a pre-grenade by... Actually, no, it's a smoke rather than a grenade. Styles' position definitely has been spotted out in some way, compromised by the members of NGG. So that's going to kind of stop him disengaging away. His skate is on the off angle, but at the end of the day, PRZ has made his way up the stairs. Pre-fire shot through the smoke. He's going to find him. No way! Banger actually end up getting that one. That shouldn't have been the case. I'm sorry, but that was a little bit of an F in the chat. And then Style tries to move forward. His skate finds him. That's going to be the end of Lakonostra power in Milta. Fair play to NGD. They're looking pretty good in these fights when they get it all together. Now the rotation's being thrown out by Panda, the winners of the last 2 games. Can they make it 3 in a row? Say something about the last game. The last game was great. It was pretty kick-ass. It was a Paradise Resort finish. Some great positioning by a lot of teams. A lovely botation by Hate Gaming to go onto the northern side of the mainland. Nobody really expected a Paradise Resort finish, but it went that way. New Era did a great job of holding on to the outside of Paradise Resort position. Got a good few kills for it. And in the end, it was actually Panda that came out on top. That kind of pretty much sums up the last game. My mic is still working. My mic is still working. Man. Apologize, by the way, guys, if some of your messages are suppressed for review. It's just because they're in Russian and it's an automatic thing. But I do try to accept all of them. And I do trust you guys are being somewhat nice in chat and positive. I ask you guys to do that. Panda going for a rotation down to the compound that is looted up by four Romanian Men. Four Romanian Men have gone closer to the ferry pier area, or the hills just above ferry pier, which would be a great position to hold on to for this phase 1 in my eyes. Hate Gaming gonna send Mishi forward closer to the members of NAIX Congenials. Jack is gonna take a little bit of hurt as I look to render on threes out in the open. Animan for NAIX is on the other side. It's nice to see Animan being played in these scrims. Do miss NAIX Congenials, to be fair. It's been a while since I casted them. The EMEA League, to be exact. Mishi plays down onto that low ground. It's lovely reaction coming out from Mishi, but he does have to prone down. Actually, Beast is going to get knocked down by Animan. That was a really great reaction coming out from Animan. First focusing on Mishi and then instantly being able to turn his attention on towards Beast. Now it's going to put pressure onto Hate Gaming as Mishi's going to get dropped down to the floor. And NAIX Congenials going to take that. Peters Vitter gets a knockdown onto Corda. And oh my lord, as quick as they say, they don't even need to get the guns out bar that initial knockdown. And my god, the double grenade from Peters Vitter gives them that squad wipe on the Hate Gaming. Sayonara Konnichiwa for Hate Gaming, unfortunately. ScrimFarm looking into the direction of NAIX Congenials, but they won't be looking to take too much of an engagement in my eyes. The blue zone is closing in on this phase 1. They'd be better off maybe going towards the west of Pachinki Hills, or even going down towards the Chopsticks. That would be much more viable. Unicorns of Love are fighting up against SWAT 69. Pecco getting a knockdown with that lovely split on the hills for their side. Savage X is doing a great job. Zart and Vatican are further back. There's a decent bit of distance between these players considering it's open terrain, and both teams are on either side of the hill down on the low ground, so there's not really going to be too much of a push. Although, just as I say that, Fresh might be looking to join up. And you know what? I would definitely agree with Unicorns Law making a big engagement onto SWAT 69, because that would really help them late game. NAVI now moving in from the side of North Jordan. It's going to get caught up by New Era. who finished in second place in the last game. Matic gets knocked down 50-51. Chucks up one grenade, doesn't quite connect. Is now going to chuck up a smoke. Looks to be somewhat an offensive smoke, followed by a Molotov. Grillo is now going to wrap around on the underside. That is a little bit risky in itself. It's a bit wild, it's a bit deep, but UBL is going to come in to take down smoke. So this is going to be a fantastic push coming out from new areas. They look to try and clean up the members of NAVI. The other members in NAVI, which is, of course, just Kitsune. No old boy for this final game. Will just have to run with his tail between his legs. But now Carrillo might get caught out by a rotating alliance. He's going to prone down, hoping for the best. But now he's going to take those shots with the suppressed AKM. And then in behind a rock, Headache finds Carrillo. That kill confirmed. Just like that, Alliance kicks off their game 4 with a cheeky kill. NAIX rotating away from Headshot Hills up to the top of the hill that is overlooking the cathedral or the church that is away from Picado. You do have Divine on the underlying compound outside of Pachinki, getting a sweet knockdown onto Jackie. Good stuff for Divine to create that level of control. Terror Esports are gonna be on the Pachinki hill. You have Conqueror wrapping around just down below them, rotating quite early considering how they normally rotate. So I do appreciate that wholeheartedly. Terror getting a bit of a third-party knock on the hate of Divine, but that revive should come on through pretty successfully, if I'm not mistaken. Unicorns of Love didn't quite get the engagement onto SWAT 69. However, they did push SWAT 69 much further down the southwest, therefore creating a much more controlling area for them. Phase 2 centers up. It does shift more down towards the south / a little bit southeast, so takes away a lot of the northwestern side of this phase 1. Terror are going to use that knock opportunity to actually push in onto the members of Divine, and I do appreciate that. I respect that, because to me, Terror Esports need to look to be a little bit more dangerous. They've looked a bit flat. They've looked a bit sad in these games, and I have to wait and see if they can get their mojo in for the final game of the day. But ScrimFarm are actually going to wrap in. Revenant is going to be put under pressure somewhat. He's going to get distracted by the members of ScrimFarm and not provide that backline support for his side against Terror Esports. We do see Unicorns of Love and Conqueror fight in the center of this phase 1. Conqueror getting the first blows, I believe, taking out, if I'm not mistaken, Ked. No, not Ked. It was actually Savage X indeed. Now Reese looks to peek on up. The Irish got himself, making those shots count as much as he can. Grenade is going to send him away a little bit into the distance. They have a bit of a 2-1-1 split. Vito on that fantastic off angle. He should be able to spot Ked once Ked gets out of position. Ked staying prone down. He knows there's 2 members of Conqueror just above, ahead of him. He does have the backline support of his team, but if you notice, the problem with Unicorns of Love is that they're too linear, right? They're too linear, and that's where Conqueror needs to recognize that. And as he's actually going to flank around on the underside, being very careful, he does prone down. He wants to make sure he can be effective. But as I say that, it's a knockdown onto Marley. That's not going to help Conqueror as he cooked up grenade. Lovely smokes being chucked out by Ked. He's going to use that knockdown to disengage and reverse into that direction away from this fight. Lovely play by Unicorns of Love. Really great stuff. Conqueror, they might have been, you know, splitting a 2-1-1, but they just weren't blanketing Unicorns of Love enough, and the fire wasn't burned out. And Unicorns of Love are going to send themselves away. Nicely done by themselves. Divine still up with 3 players left, but one of them are away from the other 2 players. That's allowing Terra to pretty much hold on to the majority of this compound. However, if they are to continue on in this game, to an effective manner, they need to get the kills onto those two Divine players. Alliance holding on to the northern edge of chopsticks. They do have NAIX Congenials in the backline, and Discrim. Discrim gets a lovely knockdown with the DB28 onto Animan. Playing on the roof of that building is very, very effective at this stage of the game. It's only phase 2, so there's a much higher chance you have more space around you. So helping the high ground angle to get those knockdowns is very, very important. Now, SWAT 69 coming in from behind. It's going to get a knockdown on Dries. However, Vito returns fire to knock down Vatican, leaving Zart to get the revive. 4 AM still hold on to the hills above Ferry Pier. Again, a very strong place to hold on to, but they do have Panda behind them. Panda winning the last 2 games is definitely going to be dangerous for Romanian Men if they do clash up against each other. Oh man. ScrimFarm now going to look to kind of push in onto Revenant of Divine in that sniper tower up onto the higher ground. He's prone down, so the push is most likely going to have to come on through. Goldie did actually wrap around onto that warehouse side that will now pinch the other 2 members of Divine in that compound. All Revenant can do is just pretty much hold on and not move a muscle, stay prone down, and hope that the members of ScrimFarm get third party. But a fantastic Molotov is going to send Revenant away. Not quite knocked down with that Molotov, but he is going to execute that first aid off. But another one in the direction most likely will confirm that knockdown. And indeed, that's the case, and that was nicely played by Spectre and the whole of ScrimFarm. Conqueror look to push in onto the side of SWAT 69 off the back of that next circle, shifting over in towards a more southeastern position, so it puts Conqueror under a bit more pressure inside this open area. As he's going to push on, he's going to get knocked down by Vatican. And is it going to be returned by Rees? We'll have to wait and see. They are still up as a full squad, so Rees, Marty, and Vito have to do something with this. They're just too far separated, right? They're too separated from each other. At times, it feels like they're playing as individual players, and that worries me about Conqueror. They're fantastic, as you can see, as individual players, but 9 times out of 10, teams will always win above all. But now as Marty pushes on in, Vito is put under pressure, but he did prone down in time. Vito finds Zart. Vatican is going to be prone down. He's the last one standing. Reese is going to push on in. He does find a first aid off to put him down to a sliver of health. Sorry, to put him down to full health. But in the end, it is going to be Marty picking things up. And Conqueror survive as a full squad. And they will get the squad wipe onto SWAT 69. But like I said, because of their position inside the circle, it was important to get that clean engagement onto SWAT 69. Because teams are going to get ever closer to them. It's a core hill to play around. ScrimFarm do get the better of both Divine and Terror. You can see in the kill feed. I'm sorry I missed that one, guys, but I caught the fight between the side of Conqueror and SWAT 69. Now NAIX Congenials in the open. I don't know what kind of information they have on the members of Conqueror, so that's something they have to think about before they look to try and move in on an engagement. Vito is inside that little shack. He's going to use those small windows to try and get a little bit of third-person information. Trying to listen out for the shots as his teammates to try and create a little bit of space. Reese is going to get knocked down. He's on his own once again. There's just not enough support for each other in my eyes. There's just not enough support. However, Marley is going to clap back. Vito is going to help confirm that kill, and that was actually a pretty solid response from the side of Conqueror. Peters Vitter is pushing in on that vehicle by the side of Shack. I believe Alliance is going to be in the back line, maybe waiting to respond a little bit. Vito doing a great job of getting those shots onto Peters Vitter. That revive has been not yet pulled off on the Reeds. He makes his way forward closer to his teammate Marley, but in the end it's going to get confirmed by Animin. Now as he's going to flank around Vito with that clean knock onto Peter Vitter outside the Shack off the back, throwing out those smokes. Great play, but in the end Jackie with a fantastic grenade knocks down Vito. Animin and Jackie going up against Azzy and Marley. There is Alliance also looking to third party this. I don't know if it's worth going for that revive. That isn't going to be the case. It is going to be Azzy coming out on top with a little cheeky third-party help from Alliance. But will Alliance now look to conquer the side of Conqueror? Marley is going to get actually no, he hasn't gotten finish off. New Era have come into third party. Alliance, oh my god, third party after third party on the edge of the circle as Sunrise looks to peek on up, take those shots towards the remaining players of Conqueror. Off the back of the revive, they're going to reposition away because New Era are going to full send it in. There's multiple vehicles, albeit not too many with actual full working wheels, but it's going to be enough to send them away and reposition them quite nicely. That's going to help Conqueror quite nicely. 4 Romanian men move down from the hills onto that compound inside this circle. Very good reposition for themselves. ScrimFarm now going to be another team looking to play on the hills that are on the northwestern edge of the circle. IC's just going to full send it forward. Conqueror going to look for them. IC's vehicle is going to get put under pressure. He is most likely going to go down, and that's going to be the end of him at the hands of New Era. Going to be another kill going on. It is going to be third party after third party. The action is getting crazy off the back of wild rotations, but ScrimFarm have been put down to 2 players. Unique is going to go down. Alliance are also going to be put under pressure. Rooter along with Sunrise, last 2 players, and Conqueror with a great shots from Vito to get that knockdown, and they're going to reap the benefits inside that Shack off the back of the teams rotating wildly into the circle. New Era also doing pretty good. They are still in as a 3-man team. UBL, Galchinok, and 50-51. Galchinok now just gonna full send in. I don't know if he knows that's 2 players of Conqueror. Oh my lord! Galchinok, along with 50-51, gets a better of Conquerors. And New Era pick up their 6th kill on the northwestern edge of the circle. NGG also, I believe, got another kill onto the members of ScrimFarm, but it is not going to be enough to handle, and ScrimFarm are going to be taken out of the lobby. Panda is still on the southern side of this circle. Could be playing very much for the late game. Unicorns Love as well into the top 6. A much better set of games from themselves. It seems like Pecco is doing a hell of a lot to help them in their journey to prepare for the 2021 year. I don't know if this is going to be a permanent fixture for them, but hopefully, if he is picked up permanently, they'll make it count. Sending in, they are going to clash up against Panda pretty quickly on the southern side of this phase 5 circle. Both teams moving in. Fresh is most likely going to get put under pressure. He's managed to drive away just in time. 4 Romanian men still inside that compound, hitting them up from behind. But at the end of the day, New Era actually wrapping around to put a little bit of pressure potentially on the Panda. So we'll have to wait and see. Oh man, my voice is just my throat getting a little bit dry, NGG now just going to go for a little bit of a cheeky full send onto the members of 4 Romanian Men. It may not be compound inside the circle, but you gotta be bold, you gotta be brass, you gotta be rude, you gotta be broody. And that's gonna be AIM being knocked down. However, we're 3 members of NGG wiped off the floor just like that. It's all down to Ben, the last player standing, cooking up a grenade inside that wall, but random footsteps are going to be heard. A lovely drop shot by Ben. Oh, baby. Cheeky monkey, cheeky funky, cheeky blow, cheeky blue. As Ben keeps the dream alive for the side of NGG. With Sushi and Dexter, though, it's going to be 1v2. First aid is being pulled up in time. He's going to peek on off. He's going to find one. He's not going to find another. The man advantage pays off, and 4 Romanian Men clean up the fight against NGG. Our final 4 teams have been solidified in the last game of today's scrims. Unicorns of Love, Panda, who already won 2 games, are in the top 4, followed by New Era and 4 Romanian Men. Panda doing a great job of pushing back and suppressing the members of Unicorns of Love. No spread is able to be created. The next circle goes in the favor of New Era. Those who are supporting New Era in chat, you are going to be giving the gift of the circle from the PUBG Mobile gods. 50-51. He's hung around for far too long. You got spotted out, but you're going to have to pull off a first aid in behind that tree. GK the first doing a great job, who helped secure the chicken dinner against Curly of New Era in the last game, is now going to push it forward down on the little lower bottom parts of that dip. It's enough to be in the circle. It's enough to help provide a little bit of a spot for his team. Thing about Unicorns Love is if they can get the better of 4 Romanian Men, which they need to do, that will help them wrap around on the eastern side of the circle. But they need to be aggressive. Come on, Fresh. Get those shots off. Get those shots off. Ked, do something. Pecco, you got revived up. Make that revive count. Make that second life count. You got 10 seconds until the blue zone starts closing in. Yes, you are on the further part of the blue zone, so it is going to take longer for it to hit your side. And yes, 4 Romanian Men have further to travel, but you don't want to get tunnel visioned by 4 Romanian Men. You don't want to get tunnel visioned on what you have to do against 4 Romanian Men. You need to wipe them out quickly, and that's going to be the end of 4 Romanian Men. Our final 3 teams have been found out. New Era, Panda, and Unicorns of Love, as the blue zone is going to be hitting the edge of this phase 6 circle. Phase 7 is going to pop up. Pecco's going to be put under a hell of a lot of pressure, but 50-51 comes in to get the knockdown. Lovely return fire from Galchinok. A lovely squad that comes on through, and that's going to be the end of Unicorns of Love. Just like that, in a 4v3 battle between Panda and New Era. Just like Sanhok, it's a repeat process. Will the side of New Era get the revenge on to Panda, or will it be the same old, and Panda claiming a 3rd chicken dinner of the day? Galchinok is doing a great job of playing down on the northern side of this circle. The unfortunate thing is that it's just outside. It's just outside the edge of the circle, so we will have to move out in the open in the next 30 seconds of this phase 7. UoL and 50-51 sticking together. The man disadvantage at the end of the day goes over to New Era. So in theory, Panda should win this one quite effectively, but it doesn't necessarily have to go that way, as UoL gets a lovely clean knock onto the side angle player of Panda. That's very much going to help New Era, because Linnea was that flank player. They're going to go for the revive GK the first. I think that's a little bit risky. I know a lot of smokes have been thrown out, but that's going to give New Era time to reposition. New Era time to find the angles onto the other players of Panda. But down in the lower bottoms of this dip, the Panda did send themselves forward on the previous phase. That's going to help them prone down and spot them out. UoL is going to be spotted out. He's going to find another player. 50-51, nearly taking out K2, but at the end, it's going to be left to Galchinok down on the lower part. He's going to get taken out, and it is going to be Panda securing their third chicken dinner of the day in Erangel. Marking a world tour of wins today. Winning in Miramar, winning in Sanhok, and winning in Erangel. Absolutely fantastic game from themselves. Really well played. They sent one of their players into phase 6 circle. Unicorns Love were a little bit slow to wrap around. That gave way more security to both New Era and Panda. And then in the end, it was just Panda to clean things up against New Era. I really appreciate the fact that Galchinok was on that northern edge of the circle, providing a great off angle. And yeah, Linnea got knocked down, but that man advantage ended up being too much because the knocks were traded, right? As soon as UoL got a knock onto a member of Panda, it was instantly traded up. Right? And it was just one of those things where it's just like, it becomes a little bit too much for them to handle. Great effort by New Era. Fantastic game nonetheless. And great to see Unicorns of Love getting more positive results. I know these are just scrims, but genuinely great to see them getting more positive results. Oh my God, the messages that are flying in. To go over the overall standings for the final game of the day in these scrims. Panda getting first place. Only 3 kills this time, but at the end of the day, a chicken dinner is a chicken dinner, and that's 15 whole points in your back pocket, my friends. New Era in second place with 11 kills. Such a dangerous team. I'm looking forward to seeing more from them here in the 2021 year. Unicorns of Love with third place, only 2 kills, so I do want to see them possibly get a little bit more aggressive. But either way, a fantastic placement result nonetheless from them. 4 Romanian Men in fourth, another positive result from themselves as well, with 6 kills. NGG in fifth with 8 kills. Alliance in 6th with 3 kills. Yet ScrimFarm in 7th with 4 kills. 4 kills. 5 kills. Sorry. Conqueror in 8th with 7 kills. Yeah. NAIX Congenials in 9th with 6 kills. Yeah. Terror Esports in 10th with 2 kills. Yeah. SWAT69 in 11th with 0 kills. Divine in 12th with 0 kills. NAVI in 13th with 0 kills. Hate Gaming in 14th with 0 kills. And Lakonostra Power in 15th with 0 kills. So as I said, the HATExLakonostra event has a cheeky €50 prize for first place, and I can pretty much hand on heart say that it's Panda that's taken the top spot with 3 chicken dinners out of the 4 games. It's going to speak for itself. However, I will be posting the results on my community tab on my YouTube channel. So thank you very much to everybody for tuning in to today's scrims. If you do like what you heard, please feel free to give it a like. Feel free to give me a subscribe. That would be super duper appreciated. However, it's not required. You can of course find me on Instagram and Twitter at EVT_ImPERium. So go feel free to give me a follow if you have any feedback. It's super appreciated. Thank you so much to everybody for tuning in. Thank you so much to all the teams for participating. And thank you so much to Hate Gaming X Lakonostra for holding this event. My name's ImPERium. Have a safe day, a fantastic day. Stay safe, stay awesome, and see you on another stream.